Living in the Western world, it's really materialistic. I mean, we're always looking for the next new thing, more money, the next new phone, this new that, everything. The next new house, just constantly finding something new, and we lose sight of what's important. The most important thing in the day is being happy. And if you can't be happy, then what's the point of all this stuff? Because we have this thing called hedonic adaptation, and that just basically means that as soon as we get something, we want something more. There are actually studies on people who won the lottery, and they compared their happiness before they won the lottery and after. And they found that after 6 months, their happiness just went back to normal. Even though they had I don't know, £5 million, maybe more, maybe less, but enough money to get by. But they still weren't happy at the end of the day because their happiness just went back to normal. But this is because of, like I said, hedonic adaptation. For example, if you were to live in Beverly Hills in a massive mansion, and the guy across the street from you has one with a nicer view, you're going to want his view, even though you have a massive mansion, and you just lose sight of what's really important. You lose sight of being happy, being content with what you have. I mean, why do you think there's children in Africa and really poor places that have absolutely nothing, but they're still content? It's because they don't need any more. What they have is content. That's enough to make them happy. And that's the way we should be, in a way, because we have so much stuff. Why aren't we happy? I mean, we have everything we could ever need. The way of dealing with this is through something called negative visualization. And negative visualization works upon making ourselves more appreciative of what we have. For instance, I got this idea from the Stoics. It's a Stoic belief. So what the Stoics would do, they would contemplate the loss of something, not worry about it, contemplate it. And once they've contemplated it, they would then think about it. They would think, what if I didn't have this thing? They would train their minds to want what they already have. So say for instance, you take advantage of your children or a loved one or anyone like that. They would train their minds to imagine them not being there anymore. They would train their minds to be, okay, well, this person is mortal, they're not going to last forever, then how am I going to act like, this is their last day? How am I going to treat them in a way that I appreciate them being here, but I know they're not going to be here forever? So the way it works is, let's think of an example. Say if you have a pet or a dog, and they're really getting on your nerves, and you just think, oh, I don't need, this dog's just been driving me mad. You're not really appreciating the dog as much, you're not taking it out for walks as much as you should, just things like that. And if you just imagine, the dog's not going to live forever, and neither are you. So how are you going to be? So if you're in a state where you feel like you're not appreciating something, you just have to imagine yourself without it. And they always say, you don't really know the value of something once it's gone. And this principle fully applies here. I mean, if you train your mind to think as though it's not there anymore, or you don't have it, imagine your life without it, but then you come to the realization that you have it, you appreciate it more. It's a natural thing. It takes practice, but that's how it works. Another way is through projective visualization. So in the ancient times where the Stoics had these sort of things, well, they had servants, for example, and when they were hosting a party or whatever, and they had their friends come around. And if a servant broke a glass, they would get really angry. But the people they invited over, their guests, would say, why is he getting so angry? It's just a glass. And the way this technique works is that you have to imagine your point of view from the person not receiving the annoyance, really. So say, for example, if someone just said something to annoy you, but really it's not that big of a deal, you're just getting offended for it for no reason, then you imagine it from the point of view of someone watching you and thinking, oh wait, it's really not that bad. There's worse things that can happen. And you kind of just accept it and move on, and your inner tranquility isn't disturbed. So if the main key is to appreciate what you have, that's the thing. But you can do this via negative visualization or projective visualization. There's a few, there's a multitude of ways, but the main two ways, the most important two, are those two. If you can maintain your inner tranquility by appreciating what you have, wanting what you already have, and being content with everything, then you'll be happy. I mean, there's a long way to go. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it, but hopefully I'll be there one day. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll be doing more like this soon. See you soon.